Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into something fascinating, the way sound works in English. Not just pronunciation, but how sounds are used deliberately, maybe sometimes unconsciously, to add meaning, feeling, and, well, make things stick.
Exactly.
Think of this as a shortcut, maybe, to understanding three specific ways English uses sound, these kind of phonetic tricks that make the language, super cool and fun, even if the names sound a bit formal.
Right. And our mission here really is to pull out the key bits of info from our sources, the important nuggets, to help you get really well informed about how sound makes communication better.
Yeah.
We're aiming for those moments where you go, aha, so that's why it sounds like that, understanding the why behind these techniques.
Okay, sounds good. So let's unpack the first one. It's called alliteration. This is probably one you recognize even if you don't use the name all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's when words that are close together start with the same sound, usually a consonant sound.
Yeah.
It creates this, noticeable pattern.
And what's really interesting is why it's so common. From old poems right up to today's ads, it's not just playing with sounds.
Right.
Alliteration kind of hooks into how our brains like patterns. It makes phrases easier to remember almost. Catchy, you could say. Poets, speakers, way back knew this. They used it to give rhythm and a sort of weight to their words, sometimes even before rhyme was the main thing.
That makes total sense. The sound itself helps you remember it. And the examples we looked at really show how common it is.
Yeah.
Like that classic tongue twister, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Yeah.
You really hear that P sound, don't you?
Definitely. It drives it along.
Or she sells seashells by the seashore. That S sound just repeats all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
We also see it in shorter, punchier phrases like big bad bears. That B sound is quite strong.
Right. It gives it impact.
And it's so basic. It's even in famous names like Donald Duck.
Ha! Yeah, good one.
It's pretty neat how just repeating that first sound makes things stand out more. So maybe a little challenge for you listening. Can you think of three words that start with the T sound? Like maybe tiny turtles talk. Give it a try.
Good idea. It's fun to play with.
Okay, so alliteration is about the start of words, but sometimes the magic happens with sounds inside the words. This takes us to our second trick, assonance.
Right.
It's similar to alliteration, but instead of the first sound, it focuses on vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, U.
So assonance is when words that are near each other have the same vowel sound, but crucially, their beginning sounds are different.
Okay.
And why use it? Well, it creates this lovely rhythm and flow. You hear it a lot in poetry and songs because it connects words in a really special sort of musical way.
Right.
But maybe more subtly than alliteration.
Right. It's less obvious sometimes. You can really hear it in some of the examples, though, like listen for the I sound and the light of the fire is bright.
Yeah, that long I sound echoes.
It does. Or the long O-N goes slow over the road. Almost makes you feel that slowness.
Mm-hmm. It matches the meaning.
Exactly. And even short vowels work, like the short A and the cat ran fast. Gives it a quick feel.
Quick, sharp sound.
Yeah. And one more, the long E and sheep sleep deeply. You can almost hear that long, drawn-out sound.
It definitely creates a mood. Now, it's fair to say assonance can be a bit trickier to spot than alliteration.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Because you really have to listen for the sound of the vowel, not just look at the letter spelling it. English spelling can be tricky that way.
True.
But, your ears get better at picking it up with a little practice. You start noticing those internal rhymes, that echo.
Okay, so we've had starting sounds with alliteration, inside vowel sounds with assonance.
Yeah.
Now for something maybe a bit more direct.
Absolutely. The third one is onomatopoeia. And this one is super fun, I think, and pretty easy to grasp.
Yeah, this is where the word just sounds like the noise it describes. Like the word is the sound. You can almost visualize the word making the noise.
Exactly. It's language mimicking reality in a very direct sensory way. And the why is pretty clear, isn't it?
Yeah, makes things more lively.
Totally. It makes writing and speaking way more exciting, more vivid. It lets you, the listener, almost hear what's going on. It adds this layer of sound that just describing something can't quite capture. Turns words into little sound effects.
Let's try some of these examples out loud. Make some noise with words like the source suggested.
Go for it.
Okay, so the dog said woof woof.
Yep, you hear the bark.
The clock went tick-tock.
Classic.
The door went shriek when I opened it. Ooh, you can picture that rusty hinge.
Mm-hmm.
The ball went bounce, bounce.
You get action in the sound.
Or even just that little sound when you drink gulp. The bee went buzz past my ear.
Definitely hear that one.
And the fire went crackle, crackle.
Love that sound. Cozy!
These words really do help us hear the story, don't they? It's not just reading, it's experiencing. Builds atmosphere.
It really does. So, just to quickly recap these 3 cool sound tricks we've unpacked. First, alliteration. Words starting with the same sound. Makes things catchy, gives rhythm, like Peter Piper picked.
Right.
Second, assonance. Words having the same vowel sound inside them. Creates that nice flow, that internal echo, like light of the fire is bright.
Mm-hmm.
And third, onomatopoeia. Words that just sound like the noise they describe. Super direct, adds vividness, like woof, tick-tock, buzz.
Right.
Each one adds a different kind of texture and depth to English.
So, thinking about you listening,
Mm-hmm.
you now know 3 really fantastic ways English plays with sound to be more interesting, more expressive. And just knowing about these, well, it can make listening more fun.
Yeah, you start noticing them more.
And maybe if you try using them, it can even make your own English sound a bit more natural, more like a native speaker sometimes. And it's just fun to play with language this way. So here's something to think about as we wrap up. Now that you're kind of tuned into these sound tricks, alliteration, assonance, onomatopoeia, keep an ear out. When you're reading, listening to music, watching shows, just listening to people talk, see where they pop up. And maybe even better, try it yourself. Try weaving one into a sentence when you're talking or writing. See how it feels. You might be surprised how much more engaging your words can become when you pay attention to how they sound, not just what they mean.
Great challenge.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the sounds of English.